Today I will be presenting the branch of critical criminology known as state crime, specifically examining the use and misuse of torture for intelligence gathering during the War on Terror. I will be highlighting the structural elements of power, inequity, inequality, and political conflict that contributed to the expansion of torture practices. What is the critical criminology? Critical criminology focuses on the way social power and inequality influence the definition, enforcement, and impact of crime. Instead of looking only at street level crime, this theory examines how institutions like governments can create harm. Critical criminologists argue that crime is shaped by politics, economics, and structural oppression. The branch of critical criminology I selected is state crime, also known as crime of the powerful. This includes illegal or harmful behaviors committed by governments or state officials. State crime is often hidden from the public, justified through political messaging, or reframed as necessary for national security. After the attacks of September 11, 2021, the United States launched the War on Terror, expanding military and intelligence operations worldwide. Facilities such as UBA, Guantanamo Bay, and CIA black sites became central locations for detention and interrogation. This global counterterrorism efforts laid the groundwork for the use of terror. During interrogation, detainees were subjected to harsh techniques including waterboarding, prolonged sleep deprivation, stress, stress positions, sexual humiliations, and psychological manipulation. Although these practices were labeled enhanced interrogation techniques, critical scholars and human rights organizations classify them as torture. Critical criminology views torture as a result of power imbalance. Governments control laws, policies, and narratives, allowing them to justify harmful practices during crises. Torture becomes framed as necessary even though it violates international law. The theory argues that state power not legitimately determines what is labeled a crime. Some critical criminologists argue that capitalism and global political interests contributed to the war on terror. Protection of economic resources such as oil, along with national security priorities, lead to policies that extended militarization. These power structures allow torture to occur with minimum oversight and accountability. Institutions such as CIA, the Department of Defense, and intelligence agencies held significant authority during the War on Terror. The lack of transparency and oversight enabled abuse. In many cases, whistleblowers faced consequences and victims were unable to seek justice. These conditions align closely with state crime theory. This topic aligns with critical criminology because it highlights how powerful groups can commit harm without facing criminal consequences. Torture demonstrates how laws can be shaped to protect the state while marginalizing vulnerable population. Critical criminology challenges these powers dynamic and seeks accountability. In conclusion, the use of torture for intelligence gathering during the War on Terror reflects the intersection of power, inequality, nationalism, and political conflict. Critical criminology helps reveal how government can redefine crime, justify harmful actions, and hide abuses. Understanding these issues is essential for preventing future human rights violations. To complete this assignment, I reviewed the section on critical criminology and crimes of the powerful in my course textbook by Siegel 2023. I then researched sources using Google Scholar to gather information on state crime, torture, and interrogation practices in the War on Terror. After selecting the branch of critical criminology that focuses on state crime, I outlined my presentation, created created a slideshow in Microsoft PowerPoint, and I then wrote a narration script for each slide.